Okay, another in our installment of how Ryan Adams plays his songs. This time we're going to do Carolina Rain. This is one of Ryan's more literary songs, and it appears to be difficult, but it really isn't. There's some tricky runs up the fretboard, and we'll talk about those. We're taking as our model performance the notorious BBC Songwriters Circle performance. Ryan does a fabulous version of that, of the song there. And he also does this on the Life After Death record as well. He's pretty consistent in the way he does it. There's a great tab out there, and I've linked that below. It's pretty good all the way around, and you can use that in conjunction with watching him do it in this video. It's not quite complete, but it's awfully good and worth checking out, and so that's why I have included it. The song is all in standard tuning, no capo, and the song starts off with a kind of a blues riff with an E and an A, and the best way to do the A is just with your index finger covering the three strings, so you can get into the rhythm and you can watch him do it. So it goes something like this. E, A, E, A, E, A, and you can watch him do that. And then we have the run up the fretboard, which he uses in the opening and as the turn into the chorus. And the tab has you working the A string and the G string, but you really don't need to do that. And in fact, if you watch him, he's just working on the A string. And so what you want to do is you want to hit that A string and accentuate that A string as you go up the fretboard. You can hit the E string too and the A string and also the D string, but you don't want to hit the G unless you're depressing it, in the alternate frets as the tab explains. But you really don't need to do that to get the effect, and that's not what he does either. He's sticking with the A string. So it's 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret, 12th fret on the A string, 11, 9, 7, 5, 4, and then back to E. If you watch how Ryan does it, he's very economical, and he positions his hands in order to have the option of doing a trill on the final descent. And so he starts with his index finger on the A string, 2nd fret, keeps the index finger on the 4th fret, and then uses his ring finger on the 5th fret. All right, but he keeps his index finger on the A string all the way up. So it's like that. Let's see if we can do that here, like there. Okay, and then your index finger there on the A string, and then keep going and let the ring finger or the index finger carry the rest of the depressions up the A string. So it's a. And then when you're back down to 4th and the 5th fret, you can do that little trill, and you have your index finger already positioned on the 4th fret to allow that trill. If I can do this fast here. There we go. And so it takes a little practice to get it smooth. It's hard to do it unless you're doing the entire song sort of separate, but you get the idea. So just watch him do that, and that's all you need to do. It's just to make sure you're hitting that A string. Those are the frets you want to really accentuate and get that A string to ring out. Then the verse is 4 chords. Starts at B minor, and you want to do that B minor bar. And then an A, and then E, and then you do a suspend, and all you do for the suspend is just move your index finger from the 1st fret on the E chord up to the 2nd fret, and then back down. And then to move into the G part of the verse, the 3rd line, you want to do a run up on the F sharp, and then G, all right, and then D, and then A, and then hit that G string and back to A again. So it goes something like this. On the south side of town, till the landlord came with $200 bills. Okay, so that's the first part of the verse, right? So it's B minor, A, then E, suspend, F sharp, G, and a D, then an A, hit the G. Then the second part of the verse, again, is B minor, A, and then E and E suspend, run up, G, and then A, then E, and then back to that blues riff, E and A together. And that's the verse, and that's pretty consistent with the way he does the verse throughout. There's one little wrinkle that he does on the I think it's the third verse, Percy and I. So it's Percy and I moved down the street until we lost two pretty girls. One was 7, one was 3. So Alderman and Caroline on the house. He goes right up the hill, and he actually plays the single notes on this version. House right up the hill. So it's E, all right, second fret like the suspend, and then 4th fret on the G string, okay, and into G, and then to D. All right. The other thing too is the verse before that. I forgot that. The suspicion got the better of Alderman hate, right? Where he goes, the Lord took him home in July, but the rose spilled the beans on the day that he died. Then he does just a partial run up the fretboard. We was in trouble. So it's just the 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th. And then he does the full run up. I should have told him that you were the one for me. And then back into A. Yeah, but I lied. Again, that but I lied. So that's A and G. And the tab does a good job of showing that. The song on the one sort of semi-bridge part, tied up to the quarry at the bottom, tied up a concrete to the bottom of the quarry with that tattoo on his heart that spelled Caroline. He was silent, but his rosary just drifted into custody of a sheriff that was just debut. So it goes G, F sharp, back to E. Or you can just do the G. So, drifted into custody of a sheriff that was just debutante. So, you can gotta get that G going. And then down to the E. Again, follow the tab. The tab is that I've linked below is really good on that. And then finally, the song concludes with a sort of different verse. It's the banquet hall verse. And that's also B minor, D, A, and G with a slightly different configuration. So it's I was down at the banquet hall, and then the guys came up pretty angry and drunk. So you can hit that G again on that A on angry and drunk. And I stood here at the banquet hall, when the gun went off. And then the concluding part in the Carolina rain is D, in the Carolina rain, in the Carolina rain. And then he ends with the same run up, and he does that once at regular speed, and then he concludes the song at a slower pace, and then concludes it with a kind of E minor riff, or E minor riff. So, so the final run up and run down is real slow. Then you can do that trill. And then E minor, hammers on that G string first fret, and then strikes that low high E string at the end. And that's how he concludes that rendition of the song. Anyway, there it is. It takes a little practice to work it all out. Like I said, the tab below that I've linked is really good. But don't do the two-fingered run up the fretboard that the tab recommends. All you need to do is work the A string and follow him. Do the index finger and index finger and middle finger combination up the fretboard, and you can do that trill on the way down. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Thanks.